สวัสดีค่ะ and welcome to Percy Library's Database Management System project. To begin with, we would like to start by talking about our project objective. The objective of our project is to create a database system for Percy Library. We decided to make one for a library as we're interested in the process behind the workings of a library. For our project, we have created a database that has a user-friendly interface that allows users to key and keep track of books, magazines, and textbooks, that tracks study room information, allows access to student information, employee information, and information of each room and its occupants or assigned employee. Furthermore, it allows the ability to search for books, magazines, and textbook genres through our query. And lastly, the ability to print out reports. Now that we have gone through our database features and our objectives, let's get into our project. All right, so let's start off with a quick overview of our project. As you can see, we have our tables, queries, forms, and reports. In this next part, we will go over each section and show you what we have done and each feature that we have designed as well. Now let's move on over and start with tables. It was really important for us to make sure that our tables were sufficient, as libraries hold a lot of information. So in total, we have made 13. Our first table is book details. It was important for us that we added enough detail and specification to all of our tables and entries, as in libraries, it is really crucial that you add the sufficient information for all your books. Along with book details, we have other tables that we have categorized to borrowed books, borrowed magazines, borrowed textbooks, librarian details, library rooms, magazine details, returned books, returned magazines, returned textbooks, student details, study room reservations, and textbook details. We decided to categorize our information in this way so that the interface stays user-friendly. Now that we're done discussing tables, let's move on to their relationships. Like real relationships, this is where it starts to get a little complicated. With these relationships, we were able to combine data from different tables together. Each of these relationships consist of fields in two tables with corresponding data. For example, let's look at borrowed books and book details. As seen, the primary key from the book details, which is the book ID, corresponds to the book ID foreign key in borrowed books. Creating a relationship between these two tables can help prevent missing data by keeping deleted data from getting out of sync through the process of the referential integrity. Now that we've taken a good look at what the relationships look like in their developing form, let's now take a look at them in their report form. Don't they look much prettier with color? In the Forms view, you will have a full overview of these relationships. You can see them in full size and corresponding colors. This makes it a lot more easier to look at and understand which tables have relationships with one another. Additionally, if you were to print it out as a report, it would look much more beautiful and aesthetically pleasing. Now that we've taken a nice in-depth look at our relationships, let's move on over to our queries. We've decided to use our queries as a method of categorizing the genre of books. We have categorized different genres of books, magazines, and textbooks. By using a query to categorize book genres, it will be much easier to search for the specific book, magazine, or textbook that you're looking for. Not only can you look for them, but you can check if the status is available or not, making the process much easier for users. Now that we've gone through the purpose and importance of our queries, let's move on and discuss our forms. In total, we have created 13 corresponding forms to our tables. For the design of our forms, we decided to go with a sleek layout, some funky backgrounds, and cute stickers as decorations. Through these forms, users will be able to access information from the tables easily and have it pleasing to the eyes. Lastly, let's go over our reports. In total, we have 20 reports to go through. To start off, we'll go over the book section. So this is the report for book details, which corresponds with the same information on the book details table. Next up, we have reports that correspond with the queries, such as children's books, followed by fiction books, non-fiction books, poetry books, self-help books, and young adult books. Besides making information visually attractive and user-friendly, reports allow you to print out your information as well. As shown, here are a couple of print previews of the book reports. Next up, let's move on to the reports for magazines. To start, we have a long report of magazine details which corresponds to the same table of the same name. Following that, we have reports that correspond with the queries. This consists of culinary magazines, fashion magazines, lifestyle magazines, literary magazines, and pop culture magazines. Yet again, these reports are able to be printed and viewed in the print preview as well. So here is the print preview of the reports, magazine details, and culinary magazines. Now we have textbook reports. Firstly, we have textbook details, which again corresponds with the same information in the textbook details table, except with the report, it's much more pleasing to look at. Following that are the reports for the textbook queries, which consist of the art and music textbooks, language textbooks, mathematics and technology textbooks, science textbooks, and social studies and philosophy textbooks. Like before, all these reports can too be viewed in the print preview form. That being said, we have reached the end of our project. We thank you for your time and attention.